replays in my head every day. So not only what happened to me, but what happened to everybody on that train, the people that lost their lives, to those of us that we don't look like we were affected, but believe me, we were affected and will be affected for the rest of our lives.
The scars are branded on their skin, the images seared in their minds.
It's what I've seen, it's up here that I'm going to always visualize and see the body bags taking people out of the cars, and where some were decapitated and they removed arms and they try to connect a leg to a body, that they saw a leg over here. And you know, as graphic as that is, that's never going to go away.
They're haunted by nightmares and flashbacks of what they endured.
I could barely breathe because all my ribs were like bashed in. My eyes were bleeding, my right eye was bleeding, so I kept wiping them. I guess my glasses had broken and gone off. So I kept wiping my eyes because the blood kept coming out. I could feel blood in my throat. Then I would keep passing out.
And I remember putting my hand up because I wanted to see it was all wet. And when I brought my hand down, I remember seeing that it wasn't water, it was red, it was blood. So, and that's when I was more waking up, and I heard all the people screaming and the crying. And I mean, I was on the floor with just looking at the floor. I couldn't really see with my right eye. I really was confused as to what was happening.
For those who survived, life will never be the same. Their bodies are broken, and the emotions are overwhelming.
Sometimes I just love to cry. I just want to cry to remove the pain that I've been going through.
I knew I was injured, something was wrong in my head, it didn't occur to me, and it never occurred to me until after they told me that I had broken my neck.
I had head damage, a bunch of stitches of fractured skull. I also had 4 busted ribs. I had a hip damage where the ball just popped right out and shattered my hip.
I used to be, I don't want to say superwoman, but I'd go to work and I would make good money. Everything would be wonderful. And then I went from that to literally laying on the couch, 20 hours out of the day.
Then there are the 24 innocent people taken from their families in the crash. They left behind spouses, children, grandchildren, and parents.
We were so connected that the separation has left me feeling very disconnected really from the world. And it took me a while to decide, to be honest, quite honest with you, if I wanted to live without, in a world without my mom.
This whole thing has just turned my whole life upside down. I'm just not the same person anymore. It's my dad's ashes, and I had it engraved. It says, "I love you, Dad." That's the date, 9/12/08. It's with me.
It's not like they had cancer and you were holding their hands and saying goodbye, I love you, tell me the last advice you have. It's just like boom. You go from happy and planning life and moving through it to you hit a brick wall.
We have breaking news right now here on CBS 2. A train derailment. You can see it right there. A Metrolink train has collided with a freight train.
The headlines first told us a distracted Metrolink conductor texting behind the controls caused the crash. But Robert Sanchez, who died in the collision, is an easy scapegoat. We now know about the breakdown in Veolia Transportation's business practices, that managers knew for 6 weeks about employees texting aboard trains and did nothing to stop it, and that Metrolink employees falsified official records. U.S. law caps the amount Veolia is required to pay at $200 million. But Veolia can and should do more. Among the company's core values, accountability, especially for safety. To truly compensate the victims would cost closer to $400 million. Victims like Rachel Mafia, who suffered a brain injury and burns. She'll require many years of medical treatment. Her medical expenses already exceed $13 million. And she'll never live her dream of becoming a doctor. She's just one of more than 150 victims whose lives are changed forever.
I rode dirt bikes, I snowboarded, I skated, I played baseball forever. We always talked about getting like an adult softball team together. Wakeboarded, jet skis, even a boat. I can't even go on a boat anymore.
It's really hard to be motivated when you don't feel good about yourself. And honestly, I don't feel good about myself. I mean, I look in the mirror and I'm not happy. And that affects a lot of things in your life. It affects your attitude, it affects who you are. It really does.
I would like somebody to help me do whatever they can to make me feel, to get my life back, to make me feel like I'm worth something now. Because since the accident, I don't feel that way. Physically and mentally, I don't feel right anymore. I wish none of it happened, but it did. I just wish I could be back to myself again.
They'll never have their lives back, or their missing family.
It still seems unreal. We still seem like one of these days they're gonna call and say Manuel's alive. I know it's not gonna happen, but that's the way I feel.
When my father died, Taya was 2 and Maya was 4. We told them Grandpa Howard was in a terrible crash and went to sleep and won't wake up anymore.
It's harder now because whenever I did something, my dad would constantly tell me that he's proud of me and good job and I love you. If I want to do something, I have to really try hard for it because my dad was always my motivation because he would tell me at the end, I'm so proud of you, I love you, good job.
It's hard not to, not to have, because he was just so happy, that I was doing what I wanted, and not getting to feel him hug me and saying, I'm so proud of you. That's gotta be the toughest thing. That's gotta be the thing I miss the most. I still want to make him proud, and I try to. I wish I could hear it again.
No one can ever make these families whole again, or take away the pain or mental anguish. But Veolia does have the power to take financial responsibility, to be a true leader in the transportation industry, and live by the words it tells the public, that Veolia cares about customers, each other, and the planet. Now is the time to put those words into action and show the world that Veolia lives by its word.